This is not just another drone strike. This is a coordinated, deep cover escalation that has shaken the Russian military command to its core. In just 48 hours, the war has come home to Russia in the most personal way possible. We start with the headline that is now running across Russian state media: the assassination of Lieutenant General Fanil Sarvarov. This morning, Monday, December the 22nd, at approximately 7 a.m., a white Kia Sorento was driving down Yasenovaya Street in the Orakovo-Borisovo district of southern Moscow. This is a residential area deep inside the capital. An explosive device planted underneath the vehicle detonated. The blast was targeted and efficient. General Sarvarov died from his injuries on the spot. Who was Fanil Sarvarov? He was not a logistics officer or a desk clerk. He was the head of the Operational Training Directorate of the General Staff of the Russian Armed Forces. If you look at the Russian military machine, Sarvarov was one of the mechanics keeping the gears turning. He was responsible for the training and combat readiness of the troops being sent to Ukraine. But his history goes back much further. As the channel Vichk OGPU reported today, Sarvarov was a veteran of Russia's most brutal campaigns. He fought in Chechnya. He helped organize the military intervention in Syria in 2015. He was a man with a lot of blood on his resume. And there is a grim irony here that is circulating on Telegram channels today. In Russia, combat experience is increasingly becoming a mark in a criminal chronicle rather than a medal on a chest. The Russian Investigative Committee, led by spokesperson Svetlana Petrenko, immediately opened a murder case. They are not hiding their main theory. They explicitly stated that they are investigating this as an operation orchestrated by Ukrainian intelligence services. If this is confirmed, Sarvarov is the third Russian general to be killed in such a targeted attack in just over a year. Remember Lieutenant General Igor Kirillov, the chief of Russia's Nuclear and Chemical Protection Forces. He was killed by a bomb hidden on an electric scooter in December 2024. This establishes a pattern. Ukraine is not just hitting fuel depots anymore. They are hunting the command structure. They are removing the people who have the institutional knowledge to run this war, and they are doing it in neighborhoods where these generals believe they are safe. But while the Kremlin was reacting to the bombing in Moscow, an even more embarrassing failure was being revealed 400 kilometers to the south. Ukrainian military intelligence, the GUR, released footage today of a sabotage operation at Lipetsk-2 Air Base. This attack took place on the night of December the 20th to 21st. The video is humiliating for Russian base security. It does not show a missile strike or a drone swarm. It shows a person, a single saboteur. According to the GUR, this operative spent 2 weeks preparing for the mission. 2 weeks of watching patrol schedules, 2 weeks of mapping the security gaps. The footage shows the saboteur entering a protected aviation hangar. They walk right up to the aircraft. We see a hand, a bottle of flammable liquid, and a lighter. The targets were a Su-27 flanker, tail number 12, and a Su-30, tail number 82. These are not old transport trucks. These are Frontline air superiority fighters. The Su-30 alone is a multi-role jet worth tens of millions of dollars. The saboteur sets the intake and fuselage on fire. The video cuts to the aircraft burning. And the most incredible part of this report, the GUR claims the operative left the airfield unnoticed. The total damage is estimated at up to $100 million, but the psychological damage is higher. Lipetsk is a major training and research center. It houses the 968th Research and Instructional Mixed Aviation Regiment. This is where Russia trains its top pilots. If a saboteur can spend 2 weeks scouting a base like that and burn jets in a hangar, it implies that the Russian rearguard is essentially non-existent. It forces Russia to pull resources from the front to guard every single airfield, stretching their lines even thinner. Why are we seeing these risky, high-profile attacks now? To understand that, we have to look at the last 72 hours on the ground in Ukraine. The war on the front line has become a grueling, bloody stalemate, and Ukraine is looking for asymmetric ways to break the deadlock. Let's look at the map. In the last week, the Russian advance has slowed significantly. According to the latest data, Russian forces gained only about 9 square miles of territory between December the 9th and December 16th. That is a massive drop compared to previous months. The offensive is running out of steam. However, the situation remains critical. In the east, the city of Pokrovsk, is now almost entirely under Russian control. This has been a slow, grinding loss for Ukraine, and it puts significant pressure on the logistics in Donetsk. In the north, near Kupyansk, things get interesting. Over the last 72 hours, Ukrainian forces launched a tactical counterattack in a sector that everyone thought was crumbling. Instead, Ukrainian troops liberated the settlements of Kindrashivka and Radkivka. Reports indicate they have even managed to encircle approximately 200 Russian troops in the northern part of the city. This is a local but significant victory. It shows that despite the loss of Pokrovsk, the Ukrainian army still has the bite to conduct offensive maneuvers and trap Russian units. The border provocations. Meanwhile, up north in the Sumy region, Russian forces crossed the border into the village of Hrabovska over the weekend. Russian propaganda tried to paint this as the start of a new northern offensive, but the Institute for the Study of War has analysed this and concluded it is a diversion. It is a local provocation involving small infiltration teams designed to scare Kyiv into moving troops away from the east. There is no massive build-up there. It is a feint. The energy war. We also have to acknowledge the cost Ukraine is paying right now. The energy situation is dire. Following massive Russian drone strikes in November and early December, residents in Kyiv are facing up to 16 hours a day without electricity. The grid is on the brink. This context is vital. When your capital is dark and your civilians are freezing, you do not just sit in the trenches. You hit back. You hit the generals who order the strikes, and you burn the planes that launch the missiles. It is also worth noting that Ukraine's reach is extending beyond Russia itself. Just 3 days ago, on December the 19th, reports confirmed that Ukrainian security service drones struck an oil tanker, the Kendal, in the Mediterranean Sea. This vessel was part of Russia's shadow fleet, the ghost ships used to bypass oil sanctions. Ukraine is hunting Russian revenue streams in international waters. This is a message to the world that there is no sanctuary for the Russian war economy. So, what does all this mean for December 2025? It means the war has evolved. On the map, the lines are moving slowly, 9 square miles here, a village there. But in the shadows, the war is accelerating. The loss of General Sarvarov is a blow to the Russian General Staff's brain trust. The burning of the Su-27s in Lipetsk is a blow to their sense of security. And the counterattack in Kupyansk proves the Ukrainian military is far from broken. Trust in Western partners might be dropping. Polls show only 21% of Ukrainians trust the US right now, but the resolve of the Ukrainian people has not cracked. 63% say they are ready to endure this war for as long as necessary. They are enduring the darkness in Kyiv, and in response, they are lighting fires in Moscow and Lipetsk. We will keep monitoring the investigation into General Sarvarov's death and the fallout from the Lipetsk raid. If Ukraine's main Directorate of Intelligence releases more footage, you will see it here first. Stay tuned and stay safe.